Hello, Karen. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful.
Beautiful. And thank you so very much for being here. You see, I truly appreciate you.
Talking to you from beautiful, sunny Florida.
Awesome. And I love that. So, you see, Karen, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, I want to say thank you so very much, Karen, for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you did invest that in yourself. And oftentimes I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, Karen, some couple of months back, I was on a particular road and just by the roadside, Karen, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Karen, just recently I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree, you see. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance. And immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me. Because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches, and not just mangoes now, Karen. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely experience that day, and I was so excited. Here's my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Karen that you are today. That alone has made it impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request from me to be on the show because I was attracted to you, the fruit of all that you're doing, your philosophies, your insights, the impact your work is having, your book, and now you are offering your solutions, Karen. Those stuff's so beautiful. And just before I sent you that request, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from these beautiful things Karen is doing. And not only me now, because I don't want to look selfish, and even with the audience. And here we are today with the amazing Karen. So thank you so very much for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Absolutely nothing. Thank you so much, Karen.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. So let's get started. You see, I am quite excited to have you on the show today for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Karen, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge alone, but the application of it. And you see, Karen, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason I'm excited to have the incredible Karen on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So those folks trust me for quality, high opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, Karen, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, Karen, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Karen got here. And afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Karen, over to
Okay.
you.
I got here just because I always followed my instincts and I was able to take big risks business wise, career wise, personally, without feeling they were risks. I just felt that it was God's path for
Mm,
me
mm,
and I just had to go with it against the grain of most people, including my mom. I was raised by a single mom telling me it was too risky. Don't go that route. But it was my North Star that guided me. And I had a 3-decade career in the luxury fashion industry, which turned into having a business of my own, a gift, a favor, party favor making business. And then when I met my second husband working at his law firm, and then I thought it was all so miraculous how just a normal girl ended up being one of the clients she used to serve in the luxury fashion industry, being at the level that they were, that I wanted to write a book about it.
mm,
And that's why I left working at the law firm and I devoted, it was during COVID, so I was bored. We couldn't really go into the law firm. My husband was working at home. We had a few employees who went there and I always wanted to write a book about it because I believed if I could take this journey and make it, that anybody could.
mm, mm. If you could take this journey and make it, then anybody could. That's a profound statement, and
Yes.
I got that. And thank you for, taking that bold step because that's a profound one. So I've got some questions here for you. Are you ready for me? Okay.
Yes.
So let us begin first with this, and this is a bit personal. So what does why does Palm Beach feel personal to you? And how did that town shape who you are today?
Palm Beach is personal to me because it's a town where there was the scions of American industry that only lived there for the high society season. I went there and lived there on the island with these people, and they treated me like one of their own, even though I was working there to earn a living. They were my clients, but in the end, they accepted me and welcomed me into the society, welcomed me into their homes, welcomed me into their families. And because I was there with no family of my own, they were my family. The people of Palm Beach were my family. And that community is what helped my daughter feel a sense of stability and me being part of a community, which is what I think we're losing these days with people not transactioning with each other, on a one-on-one level, with everything being done from the computer. Everybody, because we're on an island, this is a island. This is a 3-mile island, 3-mile long, 1 mile wide. We all needed each other, no matter what the class level or the social scale, from a gardener to a billionaire. We all need each other to thrive. And that's why it's personal for me,
Hmm.
because the people there recognize that.
Amazing, amazing. And thank you for sharing that. So, you mentioned earlier that you left your job to write a book. So, can you talk to us more about that? Why did you leave your job? And the book you wrote, what is the title? And how was the writing process like?
Okay. Um, I left the job because I'm the kind of person that always wants a new challenge. And I felt like I'd done enough at that level of the job, that there was other people who needed to earn money, that could do legal secretary work, that could do paralegal work, that could do the hiring of staff. I spent 5 years there. I moved on from it. Um, I built it where there wasn't revenue coming in to a certain level where the revenue was coming in. And I just had always loved writing. And I listened to other authors. I listened to what they did. I found a routine that worked for me, which was doing my exercise routine in the morning. And then I locked myself in a room in my house from 12 to 5 and just wrote on my laptop. And I had journals that I had kept of all the stories. So I was able to reference them every time I needed to know actual facts or things like that.
Amazing, amazing. I got that. Okay, so what about this one? Let's talk about friendships. Okay, so why are friendships
Mm-hmm.
so important, and how do we care better for each other?
I think for me, friendship was never as much about having shared interests as that if you're a friend, you have to want the best for that friend. And whatever their goals are, even if they're different than yours, you have to be willing to help them with their goals, no matter what they are. Being a friend to me is supporting your friend's personal, professional goals. And if there's anything you can do to help them, you do it.
Hmm. If there is anything you can do to help them,
I have no
do.
time for small talk, party friends. I'm all about people
Hmm.
elevating themselves.
Hmm. I think that's very important.
Personally, it is to me.
Hmm.
There's no superficiality in my friendships.
Hmm. Hmm. Amazing, amazing.
And I think that people in general have to look for those people that are, quote, their people that are, you're known, how can I say it? You're influenced by the 5 people
Right.
around you. So you're not going to elevate if you're not around people that want to help you elevate yourself.
That's so true. Hmm. Hmm.
It's very simple, but most people don't think of it that way.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is very important, and I love that. I love that. Okay.
What my
Yeah.
is Once Upon a Time in Palm Beach, because it's a reverse fairy tale. It compares a lot of the new coming women to Palm Beach that are all looking for a Prince Charming. And after my marriage falls apart, I'm looking to do what I did again to build something with someone. I'm not looking for a glass slipper that fits me. I'm looking for, so it's kind of a reverse fairy tale, which was a cute, a device to make the story interesting, to compare it to the fair, because that's what was going on at the time when I moved there, 94. That was when all the Disney came out with the reboots. And that's when I was raising my daughter of the fairy
Hmm.
tales.
Amazing, amazing. That's so essential. I got that. So what about this one? What does inclusion really mean to you?
Inclusion means to me not judging anyone by their social standing, their race, their ethnicity, their religion. Everybody, we're all equal. We're all created equal in God's eyes, and nobody should feel they're better or worse than anyone else. Everybody has the same potential. And if you happen to be born in a situation where you have more, that's because to those who much is given, much is
Right,
expected. That means you have to give more.
right, right. Okay, so where do workplaces get it wrong?
We're living in a very me society, a very individualistic society, and that's not what it's about. You're not here to you're not an island. You're not your own person. You need to help everyone else too. After you've met the basic needs of your family, your immediate family, that's what's so different. That was what my journey took me on, that because I was able to meet the needs of my own family, I'm able now to be part of I'm able to do philanthropy. I'm able to give back on a much higher level. And that's what everybody needs to aspire to. We can't just take care of our own. We have a much greater obligation.
Hmm. That's a great one. We cannot just take care of our own. We have a greater
Our
obligation.
own.
Hmm.
We have a much bigger obligation than that.
Hmm. This has some very vital information and truth. I tell you, and I really wish a lot of people can think like this. You know, the word
Well, that's what we need to do. We need to
out
get the
there.
message out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly.
People, we all need to do
Hmm.
this.
Hmm. Right.
For example, when I lived in Palm Beach and I couldn't give money wise, I made these beautiful party favors. I learned from going to all the society events that at the end of each event, they gave you these party favors. And I had a friend in New York. I had helped him start a business. He made these little
Hmm.
items,
Hmm.
catch-all tree. No, and I decided I would ask him as a donate if he could give me items, which he did, and I wrapped them all up and I used to give them away. And that was before you could get quantities of items on the internet. So the fact that I could come up with 300 gifts to give as a favor, everybody really appreciated that. So I didn't have the big money to give, but I gave my time and my resources by donating these favors.
Amazing. That's a great one. Thank you for sharing that as well. So we have two more to go. Okay. So how do you define success?
But that's a good one. Um, that's a really good question. Success to me is defined. Everybody has their own definition of success. And here in America, it's too prevalent. People equate money with success, but it's not always that way. Success is when you feel you've fulfilled your potential. So, for
Hmm. Hmm.
example, why did I quit a job where I was earning money? Because I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to explore a whole different skill set. And I wanted to do something that would give me more exposure just beyond the legal community in Miami where my work was. And doing this book has given me that. So success is when you feel become the most important, when you feel you've become the best person you can be. That's what success is to me. And that's a different definition for everyone.
I tell you, this is beautiful because a product becomes successful when it fulfills the essence for its formation. In other words, the air conditioner in our apartment, it becomes successful the more it functions as an air conditioner. So that,
Yes. I
yeah,
love that
that
comparison.
definition that you shared now is just the perfect answer, because you cannot say you're successful because you have series of materialistic stuffs and you have a lot. Nah, nah, nah. That ain't success. But you see, we've just been deceived by the society to think that is. So your answer is just the perfect one. Thank you for sharing that. So finally,
You're welcome.
yeah, finally, what advice would you give to young people?
This is what I do, and I mentor youth now. Advice to young people: follow your passion. Do what you love doing, and you will make money from that. But do what fills your soul and surround yourself. You'll find I was scared to ask people because I was living in an area where I was the working class and everyone above me had already made their fortunes. People who have walked this road, they want nothing more than to help others do the same. So surround yourself with people that have done what you're aspiring to do. Don't be afraid to ask them. If you don't know what you want to do, get ideas from people, run thoughts by people. People want to help, but do something that fills your soul and find your strengths, what you're good at, how that coincides with how you can earn a living, because we all do need to earn a living, but don't ever do anything just because of you think it will pay well, because you're not going to be
Mm,
fulfilled.
powerful words. And I'm going to take that as a final thought. So to bring this to an end, Karen, for folks who would like to reach out to you, make a purchase of your wonderful book.
On my website, there's a form to contact me. When you look up Karen Soven, Once Upon a Time in Palm Beach, the book on Amazon or on whatever, there's a form, and I had them write that. I think it's on my website. My website is Karen Soven, um, Sunshine and Money. That's my website. Anyone can put that in, Karen Soven, Sunshine and Money, and there's a form you can click on. Contact Karen and I will answer anybody's questions. I will help anybody that needs my help. And that's why I had that form put up
For
on my website.
beautiful. So that's going to be the end of the show, Karen. Thank you for coming and thank you for
Okay, thank
sharing
you
this
for
beautiful
having me.
stuff with us. It means a whole lot. Thank you.
Hope it helps. I hope it's helpful.
Who?